Hey everybody, it's 12 minutes past 9 o'clock right now. Welcome back to the program. Lou and Jackie here along with a good friend Sheree Clark from Fork in the Road. And you knew people were getting very excited a couple weeks ago, Jackie, when the farmers markets finally started opening.
Absolutely, but is it as good as we've always been talking about? Are there things you can actually purchase to create a beautiful plate or maybe something beautiful on your table? Sheree Clark is breaking it down for you this morning and bringing in the green as we see as well and making things fun and interesting. So your takeaway from the few farmers markets we've had so far this season?
There's a reason to go early in the season, yes. And you know, we all wait for August and corn and tomatoes and abundant cucumbers and all of that stuff. But there's plenty of things going on right now. And let me tell you, let's just start with what that is. First of all, there's lots of early spring greens and things like that. So let's talk about what some of those are. We've got great spring onions. They're abundant. And here's the other good thing. These are tender and crisp and sweet, delicious and cheap. Okay, so green onions is one place to start.
Okay.
What is spring if we don't buy some asparagus? Mm-hmm. Good news about this, it'll be available for a good couple months to go. I mean, you can get asparagus, as you know, Lou, really later into the season.
Now, what's the pricing of asparagus at farmers markets?
It varies by the bundle. I would say expect to pay 3 or get 2 bundles for $5.
Okay.
You know, you can shop around. But remember, part of it depends on, you know, some of them are really tall.
Right.
When you're buying them, don't just assume with any produce, and this goes for any time of year, not just now, don't just assume that bigger's better, it's a better value. Oh, if it's $3 for a bunch, I want the big ones that are big, thick stalks. What you want to get, what I like to do is, 1, think about what you're going to do with it, and then 2, I go for the younger, tender shoots. They're sweeter, they are less stringy, that type of thing. So if I were going to just be juicing asparagus, then yeah, bring out the baseball bats. Yeah, exactly. All right, lots of leafy greens. We've got some kale starting to come out.
Kale coming out.
Yep,
all varieties.
We've got different kinds of spinach, which is great, and a lot of times, especially this time of year, you can find it already picked, washed, and bagged at the farmers market, which is really nice and handy. Expect to pay $5 a bag. Some of the stands have it for 3. Shop around. It's a good reason to walk the whole market. This is a turnip.
Right.
I've heard people refer to this as a white radish. I overheard that discussion when I was standing there and watching somebody. They said, "Do you want red radishes or white radishes?" And I was like, "Do I correct them or not?" And I did. I just had to point it out and say, get both. They serve 2 different purposes.
Now, one thing that's nice about when you get the turnips over at the farmers market is you don't have to worry about having to scrape off the wax that's on the outside of the ones you get at the stores, because that is a pain.
It is, and cucumbers is the same way. When the cucumbers come out here in a couple months, it's exact. I'm with you, Lou. Also, remember, we've got abundance of herbs. There's dill and there's cilantro, and so you might be thinking, okay, so this seems like a random array of stuff that Sheree's showing us. What can you do with all these things? Why would I buy those? Well, guess what? I made you a dish using all of the ingredients.
All of those items.
And one secret ingredient that I'm not going to tell you till you taste it.
Okay.
Okay, so
all right.
What do we have here in front of us?
So what you've got in front of you is a soup.
And this is a soup.
And the
soup
is
will be good?
Yes, exactly.
So a cold soup?
It's a cold soup.
Okay.
And the is standing for what I'm going to tell you after you taste it.
Okay.
And I think you're going to really
now I'm
like
frightened.
But you've utilized all the things you've recently purchased from farmers markets.
And one other ingredient I purchased at farmers market, but I haven't shown you yet because I wanted to do a big reveal.
Oh, that is good.
Isn't that tasty?
That's nice and sour.
As I say, there's a little bit of a little back hint of sweet, but very much of a tangy,
you
sour
got some
note
garlic
That is good
going
enough
on.
to drink, Sheree.
It definitely is, Lou. Okay, you're gonna have a little green
Cheers.
mustache. Yeah.
This is really tasty.
Well, you're gonna love what the secret ingredient is, and if you're ready, this secret ingredient, I'm going to show the camera here, just the front of it before I turn it around. And this is I bought this for $1. It's 1 cup, and this is what makes your soup special, and it is Pickle juice.
Pickle juice?
Yes.
Judy's husband's pickle
Judy, not just any pickle juice. And so I was walking around the farmer's market this weekend. You know, it started to rain pretty early, so I was kind of going pretty quick. And I was thinking, yeah, you know, I've got my produce. What else am I going to get? And I saw the pickle stand. And they have these stuffed pickles. And I'm a vegetarian leaning toward a vegan diet. So they were stuffed with cream cheese and had bacon, and not really on my radar. But I saw this little bucket with ice, and they were selling the pickle juice, and I went, aha!
So are people just buying them and chugging them right there too?
Yes, that, and also people use it for like Bloody Mary mix, and you know, those kinds of, like for it's a great condiment. So the point here is, don't just be thinking, oh, I'm going to go down and they don't have corn yet, there's no point. If you're creative, you go up and down the aisles, look at what the vendors have to offer. This was $1, people. I couldn't have gone wrong. Even if whatever I made with it sucked, and it sure didn't, I'm out $1. And I've tried something new.
Right.
So while you're down there, buy yourself some flowers.
That's
Jackie,
one
I brought
of
you
my
some
favorite
flowers.
things. Thank you so much. I love the fresh flowers they have there, as well as the fresh produce and simple little salads you can make for yourself, and knowing that they're grown local by some amazing people.
And that is a garnish. If you dump that into your soup,
it's a garnish.
you
That's
can,
really?
yes. So you can put that. You can put in as much of that as you
my
want.
goodness.
And now you've gone from a smooth, creamy soup to a chunky soup.
chunky soup.
Right,
Chunky style.
exactly.
Chunky style.
And I think that you're going to really like that as well. So remember, if I could get you to do anything, go down and be creative. Don't just stop at the vendor stands that the food is already prepared. Take something home with you and make a commitment to try something healthy. You have a little jar of health going on right there. It'll make up for all the bad things I saw you do on the earlier segments.
Well, lots of green, which you know is good. It's grown local. It's grown fresh, which you know is amazing as well. And if you get there early enough, even if there's a little rain in the forecast, you can still get some great shopping done.
Now, what about the recipe for this pickle juice soup?
You know, if somebody wants the recipe for that, I guess I would share that with them. Just drop me an email at info@fork-road.com or visit my website and get on my mailing list, and I'm happy to share. I'm always willing to tell people how I do things and answer their questions.
That
Wonderful.
works. And it's a cold soup too, so it's perfect for this time of year.
It is. And it's a great way to use Judy's husband's pickle juice.
Judy's husband's pickle juice. There you go. Well, continue to enjoy the wonderful farmers markets that are around our area. One tonight over at Valley Junction, and of course downtown Des Moines Saturday morning. We'll be right back with more. You're watching CW.